Yo, what's up with it, folks? Cal Grizzly the Chef. Most of the time, you already know who it be. Thing one, Left Coast Kings. What's good?
What it do, world? Thing two, Doc Madness. What it do, y'all? Also known as Madman Smooth, Sweatshop Recordings, and Demolition Men Productions. And you are tuned in to the number one podcast that's growing, Things of that nature.
You owe it to yourself to stay tuned. Listen in. That's right. What's good with you today, bro?
Nothing much, man. You know, another fabulous day to be doing what we do, what we love to do, and bringing more enlightenment to, you know, some folks that are, I guess, you know, to somebody they're a superhero. You know what I mean? Because they be doing superhero shit. So, you know, we got another episode where we're bringing more enlightenment, man, especially from the community, bro. So, you know, we love that.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Y'all gotta forgive me for my background. I got my killer in the back. He going at it. He hears something he don't like. He trying to put the smack down on nothing, but he trying. So we'll give him an A for effort.
You know what he's asking for, right? He's asking for another MBK episode.
That's probably what he wants. Yeah. Yep. Trying to figure out where his folks at.
Exactly. Well, shit, you want to give us a little backdrop on who we got coming up later on before we take this break?
Yeah, we got a partner of mine by the name of Larry Buford. Call him LB. Go by a couple other names as well. If you know him, you know him. He's got a good story, man. He's got something people need to hear. Because I think a lot of, especially inner city youth, you know, can relate to some of the things that he's been through, and it's also, I think, he'll deliver a good message on how you don't let anything hold you back and you keep grinding. You know, so yeah. Yep.
All right. I'm sure they're gonna love it, bro. Because I know the way you brought them up in subject matter when we were talking about bringing people onto the show and scheduling things out, man. And, you know, you gave them a lot of praise. And, you know, for the brief intermission that I had of the individual, yeah, definitely, man. I know it's going to be blessings to all that listen. Take notes, man, because here's a story that's going to eventually probably grow from just being a story. So, but we're going to take a quick break, y'all. Things of that nature. You owe it to yourself to stay tuned to what's coming up. But, you know, we're going to take a quick break and give love to our support and individuals that help back the show.
Like and subscribe.
So I eat the slice, but I've been hunting all day, so I feast at night. A beat and a blunt's what I need to ease my mind. I do believe in Jesus Christ, but knew the desperate housewives was the preacher's wife. Feel like you're drowning in your blood when them leeches bite. But I'm all about the bag, so I see the price. Never underestimate the competition. Saying you love haters is a contradiction. Fuck white privilege, I ain't got a pot to piss in. So put your hands in the air, maybe the cops will listen.
A little knowledge, guess you didn't get it clear. Draw lines in the sand, no fear. Each one teach one amongst all peers. Heart full of pain, cause it's falling on deaf ears. Falling on deaf ears. Yeah, falling on deaf ears. Falling that'll ease the mind. And a track that's perfect when intertwined. Spark it with the big, hit it twice, give it time. Words dancing and slap boxing, punchlines. Nothing fancy but that pen game priceless. Great communication with the music, tight mix. And I ain't waiting for it, constantly on the go get. Teamed up, fitted, dog brand in my own shit. Now let me translate so no small print is needed. If you ain't heard, you better listen. Go and peep it. Unique sounds, ideas, and a place for growth. Get out what you put in, bottom line, simple approach. And I'm a day one big dreamer come true. Watch how you cross paths, roll with some goons too. It's nothing personal, just the way we fall through. And for them dudes hard of hearing, got them hand signs too. A little knowledge, guess you didn't get it clear. Draw lines in the sand, no fear. Each one teach one amongst all peers. Heart full of pain, cause it's falling on deaf ears. Falling on deaf ears. Yeah, falling on deaf ears. Falling on deaf ears. Cause it's falling on deaf ears.
All right, y'all. We back. Had to go ahead and pay some dues right there. Hey, D, you ready to go ahead and dive into this with LB, Unfiltered Combos?
Man, let's get into it. What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Welcome to Unfiltered Convos. And today we have a special guest. We got another 707 representative, Bay Area. You know what it do. This is the one and only LB. What's going on, bro?
What's up? What's up with it? Grand Rising. I'm right here. On.
That's it, man.
So before we get this started, man, we got something we like to ask all of our guests off the top is what's in your playlist?
My playlist?
Yeah, what's in your current play? What was the last stuff you was listening to?
On the treadmill, the last thing I was listening to was some King Talk by Shaq.
Okay. All right. Yeah. That's what's up.
Yeah. Oh,
good stuff. Good stuff.
Shaq surprised me with his vocals, man. I didn't know he was so crafty. I don't know if he's on writing or not, but he kind of shocked me with that one.
Okay.
That's what's up. Yeah. Anybody else?
Oh yeah, LaRussell.
What's up? Yeah, LaRussell always gonna get some play. Yeah,
he got a lot of pub on this.
Favorite artist, man. LaRussell. I got to be at several of his backyard shows. You know, got to meet him. Real cool dude, man. And he's a youngster that's outworking everybody.
Right. What's up, man? Good stuff.
Introduce yourself to the people, man, and tell them about yourself, bro.
Oh man, my name is Larry Bluford, man. 50 years old, been married 28 years, got 2 kids, one 34, one 28. Got a grandson that just turned 1. Born in New Orleans. Came out to Fairfield by way of my father and mother, who were born and raised in New Orleans. He got stations at Travis Air Force Base, and I kind of been here since. And Pops left at an early age. I believe I was like 11 years old, and I'm the oldest of 5 children. And at the time, man, I gravitated toward the streets, in and out of juvenile hall since I was 12. Eventually wound up, county jailed and went to prison for over 5 years. So came home, changed my life around, became an evangelist, was in the streets of Fairfield and the surrounding cities for like 10 years, preaching the gospel, evangelizing, feeding the homeless, doing all the things I felt I was commissioned to do. And then probably about 2014, walked away from the church, you know what I'm saying? Fell into a depression. Damn near killed myself, not by way of suicide or anything like that. I got in a bad car accident.
Mm.
Then you know, my daughter got attacked, and then my life kind of just took a spin for the better after that. And then you know, here I am. I'm an iron worker by trade. I've been in the trade 20 years come June this year. But I'm no longer in the field. I'm a project manager now. So I'm in the office, you know, running plays and whatnot. But just, you know, a couple years ago, I launched my own organization, brand rather, Real Clothing. Real is an acronym, which stands for relevant, ethical, authentic, and legendary. So that's kind of took a life of its own. I'm in about 3 years now, and yeah, man. And now I feel I'm no longer a believer, you know what I mean? But I still feel like an evangelist because I use my platforms to exposing the lies that I was feeding everybody in religion for years, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, I kind of woke up after I fell out of my depression and hit rock bottom. You know, I had to do it by myself. And because everybody I turned to was believers, you know what I'm saying? So I had nobody to consult. I just had to find my own way, and a clarity and you know, just knowing where I'm at now in life, you know what I'm saying? Because it was a while I went through a period of feeling lost, feeling angry, you know what I'm saying? Because I felt I was lied to and taken advantage of. And so, but now I'm at a place of peace, and you know, I use my platform to exposing the lies in religion. Mm-hmm. And that's me in a nutshell.
Man, you sound like you got a journey that goes along with it. I know that's kind of like a timeline that you just put out there for us, but I'm sure during that journey, man, you got a lot of experience, wisdom. How do you use that as far as to give back to the youth or, you know, your surrounding community? Sounds like you're starting to make a positive spin in that direction as well.
Yeah, so as an evangelist, I did a lot of stuff in my community. And when I left religion, I didn't know how to continue doing that because that was always a part of me. So since I've been home, I've been able to go back into prison and talk to the adults and, you know, just tell them that there is life after prison. I frequently juvenile hall. I would probably go into juvenile hall about 6 times a year. And, you know, because I spend a lot of time in juvenile hall, and it's the very same juvenile hall I used to go to. So, you know, it's all, anytime I'm able to, I want to give back. And because I don't have any type of religion, I don't get a religion to be a community. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
In addition to that, I do drives every year. I've been doing that probably since 2010. Every Christmas morning we set up on the block, one of this block where I used to sell dope at, and we bring a DJ, a U-Haul full of toys. We give away bikes. We got hot cocoa and stuff. DJ. We just have a little party on the block on every Christmas. So I do that. I also do every second Saturday in August, we do what we call the 707 reunion barbecue, where we come together to give away about 300 backpacks, free food, drinks, DJ, and the whole nine. And then we used to do community cleanups every 3rd Saturday of the month, but now we're shifting to doing it once a quarter. We're going to up with the city of Fairfield and a couple other local organizations. But yeah, I stay pretty busy, man, on the front line, you know, trying to make my community a better place.
Nice. Appreciate that.
Yeah, definitely. So when you speak to the youth,
Mm-hmm.
what kind of message do you give them? Do you just give them, you know, or you give them your story, or you know, what do you?
It's different every time. Sometimes
Okay.
I just go off of how I feel, man. It's never a script. I go off how I feel, kind of see who's in there, see if it's people that already know my story, because I go in there frequently. So I just off the hip, and then sometimes I talk about fatherhood. Sometimes I just kind of meditate on what I'm gonna bring to these kids, and just them knowing that I used to sit there in them same chairs. It kind of makes them, want to listen to what I gotta say, because it didn't end there for me, and it ended in me going to prison. You know what I'm saying? And I'm telling these kids, like, look, I'm telling y'all how it's going to end. And I know, I also be honest with them too. I also tell them some of y'all ain't going to listen. Some of y'all going to wind up in prison. Some of y'all going to end up dead. You know what I'm saying? I said, but, I just keep it 100, because I was the same guy in them chairs when them cats was trying to talk to me. The only difference is it was people like chaplains and stuff that really didn't have the background. So I didn't really respect what they were saying, because you don't know what I've been through. So how you going to tell me anything? But on my end, and I'm not saying that I'm more validated, but I know exactly what you're going through, because I've been there. You know what I'm saying? I've done that. Mm-hmm. And you know what I'm saying? I'm just, and what they doing in juvenile hall, dude, is so dope, because when I went to juvenile hall, you just did your time, went to school, and they would set you free. That's it. Now they got all kind of programs. They got a DJ. I mean, they got a in the juvenile here, bro, they got a booth. So these cats can hone their rapping skills. They can't use They got carpentry in there. They got a cell that they use as a barber shop. They got all kind of stuff. These kids have no reason to fail. You know what I'm saying? They're given such advantage that we didn't have.
Got it.
Man,
that's awesome, man. That sounds like definitely. I'm sure hearing your stories and your past and experiences that fuels them for those that may be feeling lost. I know you said that you were down in depression, and right now mental health is a big part of a lot of everyday life, man. Can you give us a little bit of background on how you got through that and what helped you through your depression phases?
To be honest, man, I had to really dig down deep, because like I said, as a believer, anybody I wanted to internalize what I was feeling would always tell me, oh, don't, that's just the devil messing with your head and this, that, and the other. And I didn't want to hear that. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, nah, man, I'm not feeling that right now. I'm not on that level. So unfortunately, I had to just dig down deep within myself, man, and just realize, like, okay, you're alone right now. And for me at the time, I needed that, because I forgot to plug in. I launched an organization called Operation Thingz. I love acronyms, but Thug was an acronym. It stood for the Harvest Unit Gathering Souls. And this is when I was an evangelist, and I was a rapper. I used to do gospel rap. I would go to churches all over Northern California, Southern California, for a while. And so when I just had to plug it, got in there. When I was like I was saying, I had to do it alone, because I was so used to having so many people around me. When I had the organization Operation Thingz, that's all I had around me was everybody was. It was an organization that had members from like churches, so we was very. And I would always have people around me to when I was going through issues, I got my fellow brothers and sisters in Christ. I mean, I ran with a lot of people, and I was dependent on them. And so I realized this was a time when I had to find how to give myself strength, because I couldn't rely on them. Some of them turned on me. They didn't want to have nothing to do with me. Oh, you was never a believer. And, they would see me in public and act like they didn't even see me. So it was a very, very unusual time period that I had to go through. At the same time, I'm going through this depression. I have a family I still have to lead. So I have to juggle, my depression and, still being the head of the household, still having to get up every day, go to work. You know what I'm saying? And so when I said I almost killed myself, I came and I was drinking. When I was in my depression, I turned to the bottle, and I was leaving a bar and passed out behind the wheel and basically went head into a pole. You know what I mean? So I woke up in the hospital not even knowing how I got there. And that scared the hell out of me. And I woke up and I seen my wife and my daughter, and they were in tears. And I'm just like, that's crazy to me. And then when we go to look at my car and I see my vehicle and how just tore up it is, you know, we look at each other. Me and my wife look at each other like, you shouldn't even be here. You know what I'm saying? That car was just demolished. It was a Dodge Charger. And so, yeah, man, that was a big wake-up call for me. And that kind of made me snap out of it. Like, I could have been gone. My family needs me. You know what I'm saying? And that kind of just made me man up. I had to, you know, turn away from that bottle. That's the easy way out. You know what I'm saying? I just had to man up.
Right. Wow.
That's what's up. Man. So, what advice do you have for people that are in a depression or they are depressed or, you know, and don't know how to cope or find that help?
That's a tough one because I know that lives. And these people were depressed and I had seen them and didn't even know they was depressed. You know, people fake happiness, but they don't fake depression. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people are going around trying to pretend they're in a certain state of mind that they're not. My advice to people is be honest. Stop putting the mask on. No one can help you if you don't reach out and ask for help. And sometimes, especially in the Black community, mental illness, and not so much now, but coming up, when you had mental illness, it was looked at almost like as you know, people would blame it on, oh, he has a demon, just pray to God. You know, the Black community, we believe we could pray everything away. You know what I'm saying? And so we didn't believe in going to psychiatrists. You know what I'm saying? Psychiatry now is something that a lot of men and women are seeking because mental illness is such on the forefront now. But that's just now happening. But coming up, we didn't have none of that. It was just, you just dealt with it. And sometimes it was almost like you would call him just crazy. Oh, he crazy. And that's right. It. Laugh it off. It was no big deal. Mm-hmm. So I'm dealing with it firsthand because I have a mom. She lost her mom. She used to work at San Quentin for almost 30 years. And one day she just stopped paying her mortgage, stopped paying her car notes, stopped paying everything. She lost her house. She lost everything. And so she was recently just staying with me for like 3.5 years. And she just sits and talks to herself. And we don't even, she won't even let us help her. And the way the laws are in California, if she's not showing that she's a harm for others, they don't even do nothing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's tough. Yeah, depression, man. Yeah. It's definitely a silent. It's getting a little bit bigger in voice now, but it's definitely been a silent plague that hinders a lot of individuals, man. And it's I like to hear the stories because it's so vast, man. They range in how people deal with it, what they felt. Like I said, the masking that we do as far as every day, and then even more so in our community as you know, Black and brown individuals. We have to mask ourselves a lot just from what we go through in our four walls and in our homes and our living situations, let alone to the world, on top of just our own situations. So, man, what you speak is very real and it resonates, man. So thank you for coming on here and at least discussing some of that.
Yeah. So I just want to emphasize being honest with yourself and letting down. A lot of men have a lot of pride that they don't want to ask people for help. So they want to pretend they got it all together. You know what I'm saying? And that's when you suffer. And that's when you make one day, because you held it in all that time. And one day that pressure just may come to a point to where you feel you need to take your life, all because you wanted to pretend like you was the man. It's okay. It's okay to say you're not okay. And we need to understand that.
Yeah.
Right. Definitely.
That is big in our community because especially our generation, you was told to suck it up. Don't be no punk. Don't be crying. You better, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give you something to cry about. You a boy.
Right.
You don't be crying like no girl, and all that type of stuff, man. So it gave a lot of people our age and even younger a lot of mental issues that we didn't even. It was every day, whatever to us. It was a daily routine. So you didn't
Right.
have anybody to talk to, and then you wonder why fools act out and leash out and lash out.
For me,
I don't know if I had any issues, but when it came to football and I realized that I could knock the shit out of somebody and not get in trouble, oh yeah, I loved it.
right.
'Cause I was like, because that was my release. Whatever was going on, I probably still don't know what was going on. You know what I mean? But it was whatever I had pimped up. I knew I couldn't get in trouble outside of, out in the streets and all that stuff. So I just put it all into sports and was like, man, I can smash you as hard as I can, and I ain't gonna get in trouble as long as I follow these little rules that they got. I'm good. Like that was, I guess, my way to release it, I guess. But but other than that, you had to suck it up and just act like
Right. Mine came out in anger. So I was always told, you growing up as a youngster, stop crying like a girl. So in your mind, you internalize that as a female emotion. Crying is a human emotion. It has a gender assigned to it. So, but as a youngster, you're correlating that with a female thing. So you see it as soft. So you try to suppress those emotions. But in the streets, the only that is acceptable is anger. Is anger or happiness. That's the only two emotions that are okay. Showing any kind of being sad or crying is a sign of weakness. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's how I grew up thinking about it. But now as a 50-year-old man, I know crying is healthy, man. Crying is
definitely it is.
They lied to us, bro. So anyway, but yeah, that's that.
That's what's up. Yeah. So what led you from juvenile hall to prison? Was it a continuous thing? Was it a charge, or was it just you just getting caught up?
So as a youngster, I was real foolish. And I used to do a lot of dumb, violent things, trying to make a name for myself. You know what I'm saying? Try to make, people be scared of me and stuff like that. But as I got older, around 18, 19, I said, okay, enough of the dumb stuff. It's time to get money. And I knew doing all that dumb stuff, doing all that violent stuff would hinder me getting my paper. So I kind of stopped with that. But then later on in the game, I started snorting cocaine and I started rapping. And that was bringing the violent youngster. It was bringing that back as an adult, but now there's gunplay involved. You know what I'm saying? So I got married when I was 22 years old. And I had, so basically I caught 2 armed robbery cases, right? They were trying to give me 6 years. And it kind of spooked me a little bit. So I was like, you know what? I'm done with this, right? So I go to Washington State, go to this school, International Air Academy. I figured I was going to change my life up and do something different. I come back from the school and I run into my wife. At this time, she's not my wife, but this was in 94. And, I seen her. She used to see me all the time around her job selling dope, right? I had long hair. So she seen me from afar, said nothing because she could take me home, right? Look, when I went to the school in Washington, it had a dress code and you couldn't have long hair. So I cut my hair, had a little fade. So when she seen me when I came back, she knew something about me was different. So she gave me her number. I was supposed to get a job in Denver, but because I met her at an airline in Denver, I decided to try to get a job somewhere local. So we wound up getting married in 1995, and I figured being married would save me, right? Okay, now I'm married. But the problem is I had a foot in the street and a foot in my household, because I just felt like I was missing something. I was so young. I was only 22 years old. And so I went out one night to a house party, and my wife told me not to go. She said, I don't think you should go. And I shouldn't have went, obviously. But went to this house party. I'm snorting coke and drinking. Seeing some people at a house party that had, their group of people had killed one of my homies. So I decided they were shooting dice. I decided I was going to rob them. And went out to the car, got the strap, came back in, and laid everybody down. But this one guy decided he was going to be a tough guy and try to stand up to a dude with a gun. I wasn't trying to kill the dude. I was just trying to punk him and take their money. So I wound up slapping him with the pistol, and then I handed it to one of the homeboys that came with me. These cats, all his friends left him, so I'm running after him, and the cat I gave the gun to winds up unloading the clip, winds up hitting that cat in the back, and I didn't even know he shot him at the time. None of us did, because I didn't see no blood. So we wound up just going through his pockets anyway, and we get up out of there. The very next day, we look in the paper and find out this cat was airlifted. This cat had a punctured lung, and he wound up getting shot in the spine. So he's a paraplegic today. And damn, y'all did shoot that cat, right? So fast forward, I'm not tripping. I didn't shoot nobody. You know what I'm saying? But next thing you know, I see there's a couple cats that got caught up in a raid. And so I get the police report, and I tell them, don't say nothing. I'm gonna go make sure nobody comes to court, right? I'm gonna go. They were supposed to black out the names. Somehow I get the police report, and no names are blacked out, addresses and everything. So I tell them, man, I'm finna go make sure none of y'all don't even trip. Man, this whole time, these cats was in jail, and they told them I was the shooter. So about a month later, my homeboy Bate calls me on the phone and says, bro, look at the paper. I said, what? What you mean? I go get the paper, bro. I'm in there. Solano County's 10 most wanted for attempted murder and robbery. I was scared to death, man. I hid for 3 days. Nobody knew, not even my wife, didn't know where I was. And then finally I talked to my wife after 3 days. And she said, just turn yourself in. Such and such already told me what happened. You know, if you keep running, make you look guilty. So I was like, all right, I ain't myself into the police before, but I ain't never been wanted for nothing this serious. So I figured, okay, let me turn myself in. I turned myself in, and then I found out these cats said I was the one who shot the dude. So I wound up having to fight the case for like 2 years and 9 months. And they was trying to give me a deal for 29 years, man. And about 3 days before trial, they come and say, hey, we'll give you a deal for 7 years with 85%. Now, I didn't even want to do that because I felt like, man, it was mutual combat. I know I came in there with a gun and whatnot, but I didn't shoot the guy. You know what I'm saying? And so because I was scared to go to trial, them cats took deals to testify against me. And I wound up taking the deal, and I wound up having to do 5 years, 3 months off of that, 7.
Okay. Yeah. Wow. Wow. Lesson learned right there for you youngsters, man. Just listening.
Yes,
When we hear these paths and these trials and tribulations that people have gone through, we ask them and they speak upon it from their hearts so that way they can teach somebody else from going down that same path. And even that he didn't do it, just take heed. It was the company and the people that was trusted that went ahead and kind of consided against this individual. So just take heed, man. These are words that are not spoken lightly, and I appreciate it once again, my guy.
Yeah, man. It was crazy because the crazy thing about this is I wound up actually getting out and baptized actual shooter. That's crazy because.
Can you do us a favor and repeat that? It's your audio went in and out, and I want them to be clear of what you had said on that part, please.
So what happened is the guy who actually shot the dude, the actual shooter, it was actual two guys that took deals to testify against me. But one of the guys had seen me doing all my stuff when I was a believer. And he just came to me one day and said, "Hey man, can you baptize me?" And I was like, that felt weird to me, right? But it wound up happening, man. I wound up baptizing him, man. I got that on YouTube. But yeah, I think that is an incredible change of events, man. Because the dude came to me and apologized. You know what I'm saying? I wound up running into him, and so the rumors of they used to call me Indo. And Indo's home, and so these cats know I'm home, and they know what they did to me. So in their minds, they're thinking I'm coming for revenge. And in a way, I feel like I had pressure to do something because I'm from the streets, and when somebody tell on you, you know what comes with that. You know what I'm saying? And so I feel like I have some type of pressure on me to do something, but at the same time, I'm like, man. Do I want to chance myself of going back? You know what I'm saying? If these cats told on me once, they'll tell on me again. And so now they're fearful. So now they're running around with guns thinking I'm looking for them. And so you see how dangerous this situation could evolve to. So I wound up running to him face to face in an apartment complex on accident. I'm going there to see my boy or something, and we wound up face to face. And so I'm about 6 feet apart. He's looking at me, I'm looking at him, and I don't know how to feel at that moment. I'm just kind of like, this is the first time I'm seeing this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, if he would have ran, I would have probably ran after him.
Right.
He would have been like, let's go. We would have been chunking. But instead, he did something so unusual, and he said, bro, I'm sorry. And it kind of took all the tension I had in my body, and it was a release. Like, and I'm like, man, I was young, man, I was scared, yada, yada, this, that, and the other. And I just was like, it's good, bro. The other cat really didn't apologize. I mean, this cat went to my wife and even apologized. And so the day I baptized him, he went to her and apologized to my wife. And but the other cat didn't, man. I still kind of feel some type of way. But that was so many years ago, man, I ain't going to do nothing to the cat, obviously. I've gone beyond that. But we ain't finna kick it or nothing. We ain't finna be homies.
Yeah, for sure.
That part.
Cool, and I got a different level of respect for the other cat because he actually came to me, apologized in the heat of the moment, and he came and apologized to my wife.
Wow,
yeah,
man.
that's what's up. That's what's up.
That's
a full circle for him too,
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm glad to hear it turned out in the way that it did, and we're not telling a different story or a story about you through D, like, hey, my man who's went back in, and we're telling a different side. So blessings to you, man, on how that turned out. And like I said, I know there had to be a lot of aggression built up, but at the same time, you found some type of solitude to go ahead and listen. And not, like you said, it was a spur of the moment, probably thing that happened all at once. Because like you said, if you would have ran, your actions probably would have been a little bit different.
Right.
Man, that's crazy. To be sitting in there knowing you didn't do nothing and still got to take a deal, because if not, you got people lined up ready to say it was, you know what I'm saying? That's a lot of pressure on somebody being that young too, man. I mean, the age don't matter, but when you're that young, shit, when you're in your 20s, we don't know shit.
Yeah. And I thought, I thought I was going to lose my family, man. You know what I'm saying? I thought there ain't no way she finna hang out for 5 years and wait for me to come home. She did, man. Made sure my kids see me and
wow,
and do nothing but give all the praise and glory to my queen, man. Because I'm the reason where I'm at in life is highly in part because of her support. You know what I'm saying? Because if she would have left me in prison, I might have fucked the world. You know what I'm saying? But because she stayed with me, I knew I had to come home a man. And that's when I was in prison for them that time, I'm not going to just sit in there and do nothing. I went and learned how to become a certified welder. I came home with like 25 certs, and that's how I got a leg up in the union, man. And it's been up since then.
Right.
What's up? That's what's
I would
up.
definitely like to hear your journey in that. But we're going to take a quick break real quick and then come right back in. Just so we got to give some love to our supporters, and we'll come right back. But I want to tap more into that, your journey, and also being a father in prison, man, and how that, how that affected you in making the decisions that you came about. But we'll take a quick break right now, and we'll be right back.
Yes, sir.
All right, we good. We can continue from that point.
All right.
I had to do that real quick. All right, welcome back, y'all. Welcome back for that quick break. But we're gonna dive right back in with no hesitation. My man LB, if you don't mind, go ahead and bless us with the rest of that story there for that you were talking about. If you can just give us the mindset. I know you said that your queen was holding you down while you were doing your time in prison. And my understanding, you had a child at that time, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. How did that affect?
Yeah, when I went in, my kids were 5 and 3, and so I started San Quentin State Prison, and so my daughter would come and my kids, my family would come and see me behind the glass, and then for some reason, man, they shot me down south to Chuckawalla Valley State Prison, almost by the border. So the only way I got back up to California is I had to get a hardship transfer. So after about 7.5 months, I got a hardship transfer, wind up at Old Folsom. And so my first visit, in prison, you get contact visits. And so my first visit, I'm seeing my daughter. I think she was like, I want to say 3 years old, maybe 3.5 or so. She might have been 4. But anyway, so she sees me, we have a ball. She's a daddy's girl, always has been. And so she just knows she's with daddy. And so we're visiting about 6 hours or so. And when it was time to leave, my daughter didn't understand why I couldn't go. So she's looking at me like, Daddy, what are you doing? We're leaving. Come on, let's go. And I couldn't leave. And so she just went off in the room. And man, that just broke my heart, bro. It just like, it went back to the cell and just was crying, man. It just hurt me that I couldn't leave with my daughter, and my daughter didn't understand why I couldn't go. And that moment there, that's when I told myself, man, I ain't never doing this again. I ain't never doing this to my daughter again. And I said, my daughter, I knew that in order to have my family, that I had to become a man. And my daughter helped me become a man, because I knew I just wanted my daughter to be proud of me. You know what I'm saying? Me going in and out of prison, I knew that life was not for me. I knew that I had to love myself better. And I had a family that was depending on me. And so that's why I was so adamant on leaving that with some kind of tools in my belt, because I knew when I came home, I had to hit the ground running. Because I have no time to go to school. I've been gone for over 5 years. I ain't got no time to be going to nobody's school. I don't have no time to be doing anybody's training. I need to work now, make some money now for my family. And so, my wife believed in me, and I came home, man. And, within 5 years, about 5 years, I was able to, about 5 years, I bought our first house in 2009. And, me and my wife went back to school. We both went back to school and graduated with our bachelor degrees together. So everybody in our household has degrees. My son has his bachelor's. My daughter has a bachelor's and a master's. So we just, and I never even graduated high school. So, being from being in and out of juvenile hall. So that was my first cap and gown moment with my wife. And it's just a great memory, and just showing my kids, it's never too late.
Right.
breaking a lot of generational curses. Nobody in our family, either side of my wife or my side, ever went to college and graduated with a degree. So that's, breaking the curse of divorce. We've been through so much, but still after 28 years, I'll be 29 this year, we're still together. My kids grew up with both of their parents, you know what I'm saying? So it's a whole bunch of things neither one of us had on either side of the family. And I'm glad that we were able together to break those generational curses in our family.
That's what's up. Salute to that.
Nice.
Because we know a lot of us didn't, have fathers in the home. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, I had a lot of friends that didn't have a dad in the home. So yeah, so that's very important.
Yeah. Your daughter becomes your first, the dad's first love. You know what I'm saying? Like my daughter, her choice in men was because she's able to see me here loving on her mama. You know what I'm saying? And treating her mama with respect. Opening doors and all the whole nine. And so when my daughter grew up and she has her own family now, that's what she expected from her man. He opened doors, respect me. You know what I mean? Because that's what she grew up seeing. And she didn't have to want from nobody. She didn't need no dude to get stuff for her. We took care of everything. So, I'm just so pleased that we raised kids that didn't have to recover from their childhoods. You know what I'm saying? Because I grew up in a toxic family, dysfunctional family. My household after my dad left was completely horrible, and it showed in all our lives. You know what I'm saying? All my brothers and sisters, because of our upbringing in a house environment like that, all of us just all over the place. The only reason I'm doing as good as I am is because of my wife, because I could have been a bum just like my brothers. But to me, it's just understanding the importance of parenting. Like, parenting is not hard. You know what I'm saying? It's just leading with love. And so I used to always say my parents did the best they could, but that was before I became a parent. And when I became a parent, I was like, wait a minute, they didn't do the best they could. My parents were real selfish, and they had a battle between each other. And so it was about slandering my dad, and my dad just not being there for us. And the success of your children is based on how you raise them. I mean, sometimes we hinder our children right from the beginning on how we raise them, or we raise them to be an asset to the community. You know what I'm saying? Rather than a liability. I was a liability to my community when I was growing up as a youth. I was a troublemaker. I was always getting in trouble. And so my wife was a teenage mom. And so to raise kids and to have my daughter, that was one of my biggest fears, of my daughter becoming a teenage mom, and I know how I was as a youngster trying to get in every female's pants. And so I'm thinking like, oh man, I hope she don't be boy crazy. But I got lucky. She wasn't boy. She had two boyfriends. She had one in my class as a youth when I used to be a youth pastor, and the guy she's with now. You know what I'm saying? So I got lucky. She wasn't boy crazy. She was just real social, but good girl. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Nice. Now that definitely attributes to the time and that you and your wife put into raising her, instilling good values. And then, like you said, what they saw around them, they didn't see all the toxicity. They saw more of the positive. So I'm sure that made her make better decisions and put different goals in her life. Maybe not even discussing with the parents, but just within herself. So, that's definitely a salute. Hats off to that, because like I said, we don't see a lot of that. Hearing this, and one of another stereotype or a barrier that you're jumping leaps and bounds on is you always hear about how a great man is pulled back down by a female, having a female, and that kind of crushes what they're building and for their dreams. But you're giving another side of it, and it's definitely something that most people need to hear, that it's because of, and you're giving a lot of praise to that backbone that was there for you to push you and support you and give you some leadership when it was needed. So it's always good to hear that as well, especially within our community.
Yep.
Yeah, she's the most incredible human being I know, man, to be honest with you. She's a soldier, man. She's a perfect mom. Man, down ass wife, man. She's a wonderful daughter. I mean, and she's very selective on who she has in her life. So I just feel lucky that she chose to allow me in her life for the last 28 years.
Right.
That's what's up.
Yes, sir.
What's up, man? You got a life, bro. You writing a book?
Yeah, it's gonna be titled "A Thug Life Interrupted."
Okay.
So
we're gonna have to get you back on when you get that up and ready, man.
Last probably like 5 years, man. So hopefully, it's just a lot. It's a lot to put in a book, and so I was trying to decide if I want one book or should I make it a 3-part series, like life, the youngster, and then my life at the time I had in prison, and then the time post prison. You know what I'm saying? It's just so much to put in one. So I think to make it a little easier, I might just do a 3-part.
That's what's up.
Yeah, I definitely would say that as well, because I think you would want to dive in and give some really good details and explanations without overlooking anything. So the 3-part would probably be the best, in my opinion.
Right. And hopefully one day, man, the stuff I've been through, man, it just seems movie worthy. So I've already talked to a couple cats about, possibly doing something down the line after I launched the book, man. That's a dream for me, man. I don't know if that's but I think that would be.
Nah, it's not a dream. It's already in motion. You done spoken on the show, bro. It's in motion now.
Yeah, it's out there now, bro.
That would be beautiful to one day just see that and be like, wow, So we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
So
definitely.
Yeah, it's gonna be called Thug Life. A Thug Life coming soon.
Okay. Yeah, man. Well, we definitely gonna be tapping in and keeping updates on that for real.
Yes, sir.
Man, so we got any final words? Anything? You got any social media handles, or how can people get a hold of you if they interested in hollering at you or whatever?
Yeah, so I got a community outreach page. That's my Real Fairfield page on Facebook. You can find me on Real_Fairfield on Instagram. I also have another page which is a little not more community friendly. So enter at your own risk, but it's Facebook. It's LBELLBEE on Facebook, and then on Instagram it's I am Larry Bluford Jr. Those are really kind of, you got thin skin, I want to follow those pages.
Right. We'll definitely put that stuff in the description for them to make sure they got correct spellings and find that, so that way they can find you and follow you as well.
Yeah, and I got merch. I got the real clothing out. I got hats, tees, joggers, whatnot. I do custom orders and whatnot, and all that as far as the clothing part, you can find on Real Fairfield on Instagram or Facebook. Tap in,
For sure. I got mine.
Yeah. I appreciate your support, King.
I got mine right on all the time, man. All the time. We might have to talk to you about things of that nature, collaboration.
It's all good.
So, yeah, we're going to keep in touch with that, man. I appreciate you coming on, taking some time out your day, to sit and chop it up with us, bro. It's been a minute. I ain't seen you in a while.
I appreciate you. I'm proud of what you got going on, brother, and it seems like you're doing a real good job. I done watched the ones you sent me, man, and y'all, you doing good, man. I don't know where you came at with this, but man,
it was a conversation on his born day. I called him up, man, and after a couple hours of talking, it came to be. So we've been plugging along ever since.
Keep it going, brother.
Right on. Appreciate it.
Thank you. You got a platform to come back anytime, my brother. You got something going on. You want to just put it out there. Something, whatever you got going on, man, just tap into us and you got a platform.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good.
All right.
We are gonna for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap it up for another episode or segment of Unfiltered Convo. I'm Thing One. It's D.
I'm Thing Two. Doc Madness.
My man Larry B. LB Endo. Real Fairfield 707. Y'all better stand up, boy.
Yep.
Let's go.
Yes,
Till next time, y'all.
Things of that nature.
Things of that nature.
Whoa, D man, that was jam packed, my guy.
I told you.
Yeah, definitely, bro, definitely. That's a book. That's a book, miniseries, movie, and definitely words to grow on. Man, had to watch that a couple of times. Just like I said, my man's been through a lot, man, and to see how you come out of all of that is truly, to a testament, I should say, to hard work, not giving up, determination, and one thing that I love to hear, that support system of his wife, man. I just want to give a shout out to wifey. Just to let you know, man, that's hearing that, great to hear. And I'm sure other individuals get that support as well, but we always get the negative side. They always promote that. It's more in our face of, look at all the, the stuff that's going on in tabloids now. As soon as you're not doing well or somebody wants to end things, and it's a tear down, it's a grab down, it's gravity just trying to pull everybody behind, man. And for this to propel an individual to say that he gives all his praise to that individual and to hold it down while in the most trying times, bro, that's a testament right there of his own will and determination, man.
Yep, definitely, man. It's a good story. Let people know out there that support mean everything, man. That support is everything. I remember my pops told me one time, he said he's trying to get, my uncle was doing some remodeling for his girl at the time. And he trying to do things his way, right? He's telling them, I want this, I want that. And he's like, oh, we gonna do this. My dad calls me and said, he ain't been in a relationship, like a long relationship. Can you tell him that? I'm trying to explain to him that when you give a woman what she needs or what she wants, she's gonna support you in everything you do. He was like, he needs to understand that. And he's like, I need you to tell him because he's not listening to his brother. So I need you, I need the nephew who's been married for, however long. I need you to spit some game to him. You know what I mean? So, and, long story short, he gave her what she wanted. And, you know what I'm saying? Everything went smooth. You know what I mean? Yeah. And,
Nothing wrong with that, man. Nothing wrong with that at all. Sometimes it's not always the message. But the message is the messenger, or who's saying it. And then we spoke about that in the previous one, but that's just more testament. Sometimes it just goes to you preach or you say things where you have good goodwill intentions when you tell somebody something, but they're not ready to receive it. They're not going to receive it, and then somebody comes along and says something, and they'll come right back to you like, you know what I heard today, and you sitting back like, man, that's what I've been telling you the whole time. But so don't, moral of that story is don't take it to heart if they don't listen, but you're there, still supporting, still give that leading guidance to those individuals. Don't quit. But sometimes it's not who's saying it. Sometimes it's who's saying it, not the message. And another thing that I heard before too, as well, just to add, this is a tidbit, not to cut you off, D, but it goes hand in hand with that my brother always used to tell me when he was going through some of the training and getting tutelage from his peers and individuals that say, when the student's ready to learn, the teacher shall appear. So you put both of those together. So you have to be the right timing. The student has to want to hear it, and then sometimes it's not always who the message itself, but it's who's speaking that message. So something else to just throw in the back and not get frustrated with the youth or partners or siblings or just friendships, man. Sometimes that's the way it goes.
Yeah, you know it. So that seems like another successful show, as always.
As always, man.
Yeah,
we got an ongoing theme, and that's we're hitting the bullseye. And people are standing up. People are taking to what we have as far as an open platform. Hopefully, other people are starting to witness that and start tapping in for it. Come on down. The price is right.
It's right. Yeah,
it's on our.
We ain't charging.
It's on our time. So and time. So definitely, man. But we got more in store. We got more people scheduling. So, bro, I'm loving it, man. Because at first I was wondering what kind of content, because we get pressured as content creators. What's your niche? What's your target audience? What is your demographics? And all these weird ass questions, bro. And then they try to gauge your success on your answers. Figure that, right? But what we've come to find out, our niche is how we present it and how we give it, and our whole dialogue and our packaging. So the content, we realize that the individuals, they have stuff to say. It's not a whole bunch of nut grabbing. It ain't a whole bunch of ego stroking that's going on. None of that. You know what I mean? These people got real stuff that they come on here and want to spit. They want to talk about, whether it's music, whether it's Stone Not Stupid, unfiltered convos. And then we got food. We got, much more coming with that as well. And more to even come out of that, man, because we're seeing other lanes and paths that we could jump into. So, man, I appreciate it. I really like how we're progressing with this. And I'm eager to see where this is going to be at in another few months.
Yep, for sure, man. Sky's the limit, baby.
There you go, man.
Sky's the limit. But I guess that's going to wrap this up. I got one thing to say. This show was brought to you by, if you fail, never give up, because fail means first attempt in learning.
Things of that nature. Things of that nature.
D&P Sweatshop, come on, tell us what you talking about. Left Coast Kings, and you owe it to yourself.